I think it's time to start the podcast. My name is Wyatt, everyone. Welcome to the Midnight Masterminds. It's totally midnight. You look outside, the sun will tell you that.
Yeah, it's so dark.
Yeah.
What up? My name's Katimae.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
That's cool, too. Alright, so we're diving in, guys. We have a lot of news this week. It's all kind of minuscule news, no hard-hitting news. And for 1 week, we're not bringing up the James Gunn word. So, Katimae rolled her eyes.
Wow, alright.
There's no new developments, really, so we can just
Well,
leave
Glenn
that
Close
behind.
talked about it, and she said he's a super nice guy.
I mean, more people are just coming out saying, like, leave him alone, but nothing, anyway.
She also weighed in on the whole Scarlett Johansson thing.
All in the same article.
Yeah.
Tyler can
double?
read.
What? No, the Scarlett Johansson getting cast as a trans person and then losing that job. She thinks that directors should be held to the standard of trying to find jobs and use trans people and stuff like that for those roles, but at the same time they should also reserve the right to make sure they make the best choice.
Yeah, so if, for some reason Scarlett Johansson can easily outact all the trans people in the world, then it makes sense to go with her.
I don't think that's the case, though.
Yeah, exactly. So, we are going to be doing another round of, I don't know what the section's really called.
Defend this movie.
Indefensible Defense. I made up something.
There you go.
There you go. Where we talk about movies that everyone says are bad and are on a bunch of, 100 worst ranked movies bad, and we try and defend them somehow. We try and find one little glint of hope in this movie. And you know what? I will tell you that for the 2 movies we had to review this week, we had to do that very thing. We had to, good thing we've been doing this every week.
Yeah, it was good practice
sharpened
for this
our
week.
skills.
Because, man, oh man, 2 awful, awful movies.
So let's
Awful.
start
Spoiler alert.
with
Awful.
Spice World.
Ooh, let me tell you about Spice World. It is the greatest movie of all time. You got action. You got fashion. You got dance numbers. You got singing. You got bombs. What else could you...
Hang on, what?
Bombs are cool.
In Spice World, there's a bus chase scene and they have to defuse a bomb.
Oh, okay.
It's a great movie. There's one scene where they go to like this dance camp and they have to go through this obstacle course, but Posh Spice is too cool and her heels won't allow her, so she just tiptoes around the mud.
Hey, if that's your cup of tea...
It is the best movie. I
It's
used to
good.
have that shit on VHS and I'd watch it constantly.
Oh, we picked the right person to defend this movie. I have nothing to say about it because I
And
haven't
guess
seen it.
what? We're gonna watch it for Katimae week.
What's Katimae week?
We already went over this. Oh, Tyler was... Remember when we were making all those lists of movies?
Mm-hmm.
I said Katimae week, so... For my birthday. So
Can't wait for that.
we're gonna watch all the movies.
Oh, Wyatt.
Tyler has once in his life seen a movie called The Love Guru and has glowing things to say about it.
Way more than once. This used to be me and my little brother's favorite movie.
All right.
When I was in
I picked good movies this week.
I don't know, maybe freshman year of high school or something like that.
Tight.
Maybe younger.
Tight.
When did that movie come out? I don't know. Who cares?
What?
I
I don't have random
an
facts
indeterminate number of years ago, when my brother and I were both younger, we would go hang out at my Pappy Myers' house and
Pappy.
watch movies and just hang out and stuff in between helping him around the house. And one of the movies we would watch almost every single time was The Love Guru. I recognize that it is horribly offensive to just Indian religion, Hinduism, just
Mike Myers' career.
just everything that, yeah, it's really not okay. But if you can get past all of that, Justin Timberlake is fantastic in that movie.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
What?
I've never seen
He plays
it.
a super like hyper-realized stereotype of what people from Quebec are like.
Oh.
And it's hilarious
Quebec.
because he's also from Quebec.
Quebec.
But he's like super making fun of it, and it's a hockey movie too. So like,
There you go.
come on,
We got a lot going in.
yeah, man, it's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
this movie.
Plus, Mike Myers sings like 3 songs. All of them are good. My favorite version of More Than Words is from The Love Guru. More than words.
Tyler's favorite version of More Than Words is from The Love Guru.
Alright, Wyatt, what is your movie this week?
Once upon a time, I watched a movie called Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd.
How was it?
Alright, so...
Was it dumb?
Yes. It was not a good movie. Even when I saw it, you know, however long ago, I was like, woof, this movie's a stinker. Like, when I saw it, I was like 13. I put my fingers on my nose and I pinched and I went, P-U! But I will say that it had me laughing the whole time.
That's how I felt today after we left.
It had me laughing the whole time, and I'll say that a lot of the best movies are like in the moments as opposed to in the script structure, I guess. So this is another movie that just has a bogus script structure, and I will say the same thing about Mile 22. Oh man, is this movie's like roadmap atrocious?
Well, we'll get to that.
But sometimes a movie can get by if it has good little moments, and that's what I think this movie does. Another movie that does that really well is Rocky Balboa. Like if you were to boil down the movie Rocky Balboa to just the format or the blueprint of the script structure, the movie would be it would probably be about 30 minutes. Rocky would have seen a fight on TV about himself, like a computerized version. He would be like, I could do that in real life. And then he gets real strong again, and then he goes and fights him. That would be the whole movie. But it has about an hour leading up to that of just little moments, so you getting to see his character, and it's excellent, and it shouldn't be. The movie should suck. And I think this movie is the same thing. Dumb and Dumber. It's basically it's the two characters from Dumb and Dumber, Harry and Lloyd, when they were younger, like teenagers, and when they met. And I can remember one really funny scene when they were in like a grocery store, and it's not Jim Carrey's character, but I think his name's Harry. Harry's buying a slushie, and they harass this 7-Eleven like clerk trying to buy this slushie, and it's just a hilarious scene. I was like tears running down my face watching that scene. Again, not a good movie, but like little moments like that make it a total fun watch.
Have you seen Dumb and Dumber 2, like the actual sequel with Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey? This is a prequel. Because that movie is garbage.
I have not seen it. But I will say I would watch Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd again to watch all those little bits. But if you guys are fans of a man named Eric Christian Olsen, which I am, and I have been for a long time, he plays the younger version of Jim Carrey's character. If you don't know who that is, he was in Not Another Teen Movie, but he's also in Fired Up. He's the blonde guy.
Okay.
He was in the remake of The Thing.
Okay.
He's one of these. He's been on NCIS Los Angeles for like a super long time, for like 8 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he does a lot of stuff like that. He's one of those actors that has been working for a long time, and when you see him, you're like, hey, it's that guy. And you're like, what's his name? Well, I don't know, but it's that guy. You know, you can place him, but you've seen him a million places.
Yeah.
I love him. I think he's hysterical. He's really funny. And another movie that I'll probably bring up another week is he was in Fired Up, and I think that movie has all the ingredients for me to hate it, but I love it so much.
Agreed.
It's so fucking funny.
We watched that together, I think.
Eric Christian. I watched it when I lived in San Jose, and then I showed it to you when I moved back to Whitehall. I was like, hey, in my travels across the country, I found this stupid cheerleading movie. Check it out. And it's fucking hilarious. All right. Anyway, we all defended those movies to the T, I would say.
Yeah.
Watch them. There you go.
Yep. Oh! There's also aliens in Spice World.
Woo!
Oh, okay.
So wait.
How does that work?
There's a really good bit in The Love Guru where Mike Myers pulls a plunger out of his butt.
A plunger?
Yeah.
That's sexual. All right, so.
All right, movie news.
Movie news. All right. I have all the tabs, I guess.
What end comes out first?
Yeah, because I didn't find anything that you
Perfect.
had.
So I'm going to pull up, I'm going to say a bit of movie news, and you guys can just, like, commentate. Technically speaking, Wynona Ryder and Keanu Reeves are married.
Yep.
They did a movie, they're doing press for their new movie, Destination Wedding, where they, like, meet each other at a destination wedding. But long time ago, they've been in a lot of movies together. They were in Bram Stoker's Dracula. It was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. And if you don't know who he is, he's a maniac. He's made some very good movies, but he's a crazy person, in my opinion. And he insisted on using a real priest for this movie. And because it was a real priest, and they did the whole ceremony, like they didn't just do a bit and go, all right, cut, they put a bunch of cameras up and they just ran the whole ceremony. They're technically married. How y'all feel about that?
I think that's hilarious. That's good for them.
Authentic.
Authentic? Good thing it's authentic. I took the T out. Okay, so they're making a Sherlock Holmes 3.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Robert
yes.
Downey Jr.'s teasing it.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It's not rumored anymore. He's getting ready to.
Oh, yes, Lord.
Shoot. You really like those movies?
Oh,
huh?
I love those movies.
Oh, damn.
Got me through college.
They did?
Yeah. So.
Aren't those movies old?
Kinda, yeah.
I
bought
like 6 years old. I think.
Yeah, I saw one in theaters with Madison.
I saw them both in theaters when I lived not in anywhere you.
So about 2.5 weeks into college, I'm in my dorm room and I'm super lonely and I miss my family. And I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go on iTunes and see what's good. And I went on to iTunes and I found a combo pack of the first 2 movies. Oh, a combo pack of the 2 Sherlock Holmes movies, and I bought it. It was $12, and I must have watched both of those movies a couple dozen times over freshman year each.
Hey,
just on trips home, like on the bus. I would take buses from Boston to Allentown, or Philadelphia, or New York, wherever it was cheapest.
Yeah.
And
so these movies are good. They're both directed by Guy Ritchie. I hope there's not a whole lot out about this new one, but it probably will be also directed by Guy Ritchie.
They're why I like Guy Ritchie a lot.
Yeah, no, they're good, and I would say that how your relationship with those movies is my relationship with Sam Raimi's first 2 Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Used to watch the
we
fuck out
get
of
it.
those
You
movies.
like the Spider-Man movies.
I was just making a comparison with Tyler. Is that...
You told me to.
I'm gonna watch those Sherlock Holmes movies later, I think.
Okay, I'm glad we brought that up. So anyway, they're getting ready for Deadpool 3,
Okay.
which should be a surprise, and you guys don't seem surprised. I'll tell you why you should be surprised, because Disney's going to buy Fox, and all of the Fox projects were like in super mega bad limbo.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, for example, Dark Phoenix might not even come out ever.
Even though it's done.
Well, so what's funny about that is not only is that movie done, the news from last week is that they finished the movie and it was no good. Like, it was a ball sack movie. So they spent more money than the budget was initially. So let's say the budget was $80 million. They spent over $80 million on reshoots for this movie. And it still might not come out.
Oh.
So the fact that Deadpool 3 was even being considered was probably not going to happen because they thought Disney was going to just take over all these characters. But it looks like if anything is going to make it through the merger and not be redone or rebooted or anything, it's Deadpool.
Well, and I think
they're going to leave it alone.
They're money savvy enough to know that that's the right move.
It is.
Because the best way to make people stop caring about the other movies you're making is to take the, fucking fan favorite other one and merge it into you and say, sorry, no more of that. We'll make another one someday and it'll be PG-13.
Yeah.
That would have been the best way to make sure people stopped even caring about the MCU.
Yeah. So they, Deadpool 3, it looks like the director of Deadpool 2 is going to be coming back as well.
What's that guy's name again?
David Leitch, or Leitch,
right.
Leitch, whatever. He's one of the 2 directors from the John Wick movies.
Yeah. Doesn't that ever just make you sick that there's just all that money that they have?
Yeah,
and
that
then,
they can spend $160 million.
And then if it doesn't come out, they're like,
will.
meh.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like, what?
So the rumor
just
mill,
mind blowing.
Yeah, it is. The rumor mill is that there's no way that they're gonna take that much of a loss on it. They're probably gonna release it on. Disney's gonna have their own streaming service really soon, where all the Marvel movies will be held exclusively there. All the Disney movies will be held exclusively there. So you can't go on Netflix and watch Guardians Volume 2 anymore. It'll just be on this Disney streaming platform. The rumors are that once that happens, all these shitty Fox, the last disciples of the Fox X-Men universe are going to come out on that. So Dark Phoenix will come out on that, which is if you don't know is a sequel to X-Men Apocalypse,
which it was really bad also.
Yeah.
But anyway, do we know what is happening with New Mutants? Is that
not coming out either?
Shit
yeah,
can?
they're not.
Everything they did for it is just done.
Yeah. Ugh. So there's been trailers in theaters for this New Mutants, and it's just not going to come out. So, but once the merger goes through, we'll know more. This is all speculation.
Yeah.
But it was slated to come out very soon, and it's not.
It's supposed to come out in September.
Yeah, once the merger's done, we'll know whether or not this shit's coming out, and if it does, it's probably just going to be available through streaming. So that's fun. Fun facts for the day for everyone.
Bummer about New Mutants. Don't really give a shit about Dark Phoenix.
Well, there's a lot of other stuff too. What's that TV show that's out? Legion.
Yeah. Oh, is that going away?
That's another X-Men Fox.
Damn.
One.
Oh,
yep.
so it's everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. When I said everything,
you meant it.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Deadpool is included in there, which is why it's weird that everything else is not weird, but everything else is halted and they made it through. But that's because it's a movie that cost $15 million to make
and
makes $1 billion every time it comes out.
Yeah.
So like one of the highest return on investment movies ever.
Deadpool 2 Steelbook comes out this week.
That's
and
right.
I think it's better than the first one. I do.
You think so?
Yeah.
It took me a long time to decide, but I think it is.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll end up liking it more. It's one of those situations. You know what I mean?
This is getting philosophical.
Where the one might number one might mean more to me, but number two might tend to me.
So Liam Neeson's making movies again.
Yeah, good.
So yes, no, good. He's making a movie about he's a plow truck driver,
and then his dog gets kidnapped.
Kind of. Well, no, his son gets murdered.
Oh.
And he's gonna take revenge on the people who murdered his son.
Oh man, I was hoping it was about the story where the guy boxed himself in.
Oh yeah.
And then just whoosh.
That'd be great. You hear about that, Tyler?
No.
There's a man who welded himself into a plow truck and just mowed people down, just like, and welded himself in so that they couldn't get him out, and then he like died in there. That'd be a great movie to watch.
Wow, that sounds awful and horrible and sad.
We should get Eli Roth to make that movie. But anyway.
No!
So Liam Neeson's going to be in this movie, and the internet is having fun with the references to Homer Simpson's Mr. Plow. Someone posted, "I will look for you, I will find you, and I will kill you. Why? Because I'm Mr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow." You don't know that?
Okay.
It's like my favorite Simpsons episode.
I hear you. I got you.
Damn, guys, you guys suck. I'm excited. Liam Neeson released, he was getting interviewed about making action movies, being an old ass man, and he said, "I'll be making these movies. I'll be making action movies until they bury me in the dirt." Wow, I like your shit.
Oh, okay.
AMC, their A-list is surging past Movie Pass.
Oh yeah,
In the past week, they have gone up to, let's see, announced that their subscriber program jumped from 175,000 to 260,000 in 1 week.
Oof.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Dang.
Holy crap. I mean, it's worth it. We used it today.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just fun facts of the day. Pardon me while my computer freezes.
Okay.
14 concert goers who were about to witness the Backstreet Boys in Oklahoma. I know this is movie news, but this is just hilarious to me.
Oh yeah. I heard about that on the news
Was
today.
this the one thing that you said you'd tell us later?
No, that was the Mr. Plow thing.
Oh, okay.
Too bad that didn't land.
Oh, yeah. I like how we were just like,
oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wyatt.
Fuck me, right?
I'm sorry. It was funny, but, you know.
Ha ha!
Funny if you like Mr. Plow.
Anyway.
I hope he calls himself Mr. Plow. Who are you, man? Mr. Plow. Anyway. So 14 concert goers that were waiting for the Backstreet Boys were hospitalized because part of the set fell on them while they were waiting. There was a lot of winds.
The amphitheater thing,
Yep.
the awning came off.
Shit.
And it fell on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not movie news.
No, it's not. I just
That's
think
entertainment.
that's what you get for liking the Backstreet Boys. Next.
We're
Good on us. That's what you get.
Did we talk about the Backstreet Boys the other night?
Well, maybe.
Yes, because we watched a movie with someone named Carter in it.
Oh, yep.
And I was like, every time I see... Oh, that was when we were doing the Patreon commentary. Yeah. And one of the...
Subscribe to our Patreon to listen to that.
You'll be able to hear it. Yeah. One of the characters' name was Carter, and I just said out loud, I was like, it's weird. I can't hear the name Carter without thinking of that fucker, Nick Carter. Anyway, he's in the Backstreet Boys. Kevin Spacey made a movie called The Billionaire Boys Club before everyone knew he was a groper man. Now that we all know he's a groper man, no one's seeing it. Some people saw it. And
I think 2 people saw it.
Well, it made $126. So yes, someone saw it.
That's it?
No, that's too much.
No, it made $126 on opening day. The American people have said, we don't want Kevin Spacey movies. Except for, the 3 white supremacists that went and saw it together.
Oh, alright, next.
I'm not saying that...
No, he's a gay man. I don't think the white supremacists would be the ones to go see that.
Whomever was in his camp went and saw it.
Probably child molesters.
So basically 12 people went to go see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, It Chapter 2 is currently filming. We already knew that. The news is that James McAvoy got a boo-boo on set.
Yeah, fucked himself up. I was hoping that's where you're going with it.
Well, where else would I go with it?
I don't know. Is there other news?
Home?
No. So, James McAvoy was doing a scene where he was fighting Pennywise the Dancing Clown. And he pulled Both his quads.
Oh my goodness.
Both of them.
Yeah, both.
Damn.
Not just uno. Dos.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's hard to pull one, and he pulled both.
So, yeah.
Must have been going hard.
There you go. That's all that you need to know about that.
All right.
So, apparently, if you guys remember back in the day, just like a couple, I don't know, months ago, when Infinity War was coming out, all the people are doing press. Oh, no, sorry. This was like a year ago. While they were still filming Infinity War, Don Cheadle and Mark Ruffalo were doing an interview together, and they said, man, I think it was Civil War they were talking about. I think it was a crazy movie, and not a lot of people died. And Mark Ruffalo just went, yeah, you really got to see the next one because everybody's going to die. And Don Cheadle like hit his shoulders like, dude, what the hell? Everyone thought it was a bit, but now that the movie's out, everyone's like, so wait a minute. People are like watching old interviews, and they say like, he fucked up big time. Did anything happen to him? Because like Tom Holland, yeah, he gets freaking chastised every time he makes a small slip. And
they don't
Mark
even
Ruffalo,
let him read the whole script.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo blew the lid on all of Infinity War, and Don Cheadle knew it and was like, dude, what the hell? On screen when they were being interviewed, and they asked like, what happened? They're like, nothing. Like, because it was such a ridiculous slip that like nobody believed it.
Yeah.
They thought that Don Cheadle and Mark Ruffalo were fucking around, and now people are like, were you not fucking around? Like, no.
I was really mad.
I was really concerned that we were about to get sniped. The more you know.
That would have been great if a red laser just came in through the window and took out Mark Ruffalo.
So I want to bring you guys both back to a time when we watched a movie. We decided we're going to find a bad movie. We're going to watch it for fun. And we're going to laugh our asses off at this fucking movie. And
Power Rangers?
It was the Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah!
And we were just...
I've never laughed so hard in my life.
We were enjoying the fuck out of ourselves watching this movie. Just watching a shitty movie, laughing our asses
off. And I was enjoying it, too, because I had the extra layer of being a Power Rangers fan. Even though they played with my fandom the whole time.
So, I want you guys to both know that brighter times are ahead. They're making a sequel to Power Rangers.
Yay!
I'm not even kidding.
Same cast? Same cast?
Everything. It's the same universe. I'm actually excited. I'm gonna go see it. Not because it's good, because it's gonna be shitty again, and I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be awesome.
I hope they learned their lesson from the first one and actually use the fucking Power Rangers theme song more than for just like 3 seconds.
No, I want it to be just as shitty. In fact, if I show up to the theater and they play that movie again, but they just change the title card to Power Rangers 2, I won't even give a shit.
It'd be like masterpiece.
Fucking great, man.
But what if it's like actually really good?
Hey, no matter what, I'll be there. So
True.
Let's go.
Win-win.
I'm strapped in.
Either
I'm
way,
excited.
I'm going.
That's some good news. Fucking Sherlock Holmes is getting a sequel, thank God, and Power Rangers is getting a sequel, thank God.
Woo!
Yes, good time to be Tyler.
Let's do it. All right, shifting gears. Bad time to be Tyler. Let's talk about a movie called Mile 22. Yeah, we're shifting gears into the movie review segment, ladies and gentlemen, and forgive us if we're a little dour.
Oh, fuck this movie.
So Tyler's going to break down the cast and crew and box office, all that bullshit that you guys kind of care about, and then we're going to tell you about our feelings.
Hang on.
What?
The page went away, sorry.
What?
Alright, I'm back. Okay, Mile 22 is directed by Peter Bird.
Woo!
You may know him from such movies as...
Lone Survivor,
which is
Deepwater
great.
Horizon.
Also great.
And Battleship?
Not great.
Yeah. And Patriots Day?
Okay.
So he's hit or miss.
Yeah.
He's almost exactly 50-50 until today.
Until today.
Until today.
His writers were Leah Carpenter and Graham Rowland.
So it was written by two people basically it was written by three people. Two people who had written almost nothing until this movie, and then one person who's written a bunch of other stuff, like a lot of TV. So what it looked like is that these two people wrote a script, and they were like, hey, there's something here. Maybe let's get a writer in here to look at it. This guy does writing. He does TV. Let's have them look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Starring Mark Wahlberg, Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead.
Whoa.
Iko Uwais.
Whoa.
Wow. Ronda Rousey.
Yes. Let's talk about that for a little bit.
John Malkovich was also in it.
Which I forget.
Yeah. That was the least impressionable Malkovich I've ever experienced in my life.
You could have put any generic white dude in there with balding, features.
They probably had him for like a day and a half.
He was never on screen with Mark Wahlberg. There's no way that they actually shot that.
I also think in the beginning Mark Wahlberg wasn't on set with the rest of them, and that's why that scene played out the way it did.
Dude, it was edited so... Alright, we'll get into that in a little bit.
Sorry.
Tell us about the story.
Well, hang on. It's raked in about just over $13.5 million.
What's the budget?
I I don't know. Hang on.
Oh, wow. Wow, we got to rank amateur over here.
How do you find the budget? Where's the budget?
The budget is at least $8.
You're right. Actually, you know what? No, everyone could have donated their time. I find that highly unlikely.
$35 million USD.
No, so it'll make
his money back.
It'll make
it's already almost halfway there.
Yeah, well.
Slap.
But yeah.
slap.
So anyway, Mark Wahlberg, Lauren Cohen, Ronda Rousey, and a bunch of other cretins are part of this
The CIA.
deep CIA sleeper unit that gets sent in to do things when there's no one else who can do it. They're
like the Mission Impossible guys,
kind of like the IMF, but shittier. It's almost like the Division, if you know what that game is.
Boo.
But basically, they go shoot up this Russian safe house thing because they have a bunch of
Christmas Drive.
They have a big bunch of radioactive material in it, but then the radioactive material goes missing, and they can't find it. But then some Asian guy rocks up to the embassy of whatever the fuck country they were in, and is like, "Hey,"
said South Asia, and then no one ever said the name of the country. They just said the country we're in, or our host country, or this country. They did give us the latitude and longitude. I wish I wrote it down.
Oh yeah. They did give us the latitude and longitude.
I hate it when action movies do that.
Yeah, because it's like,
hey, unless you want to fact check us, here's the latitude and longitude. Like, we're here.
Most of the time, it's complete horseshit.
Yeah, it's like made up numbers. Whatever.
But anyway, this Asian guy has the secrets to where the radioactive material is, and they have to get him asylum into the U.S. to earn the rights to see it. Everybody has problems. Mark Wahlberg's a fast-talking ADHD asshole.
Yes.
The ADHD part isn't what makes him an asshole. He's just an asshole. Lauren Cohen is a bad mom. Yep. Ronda Rousey is just kind of an ass.
Yep. Everyone's
a bad person. Shooting happens, and there's a twist.
Yep. What's your hot take, Katimae? Oh, you weren't done?
No, I was
so you just took a long pause. I thought you were done.
It's a piece of shit.
It's all right.
You know, what I really liked about this movie is the credits, because it meant it was over.
It ended.
Yeah, it was a pile of butthole.
Why did we have to have 3 close-up shots of one sentence for every conversation, and then a slap-de-slap?
So Mark Wahlberg had a tick where he would, his brain would start working too fast, and he'd get, way too into people's faces, so to help him slow down, his therapist told him to wear a rubber band and slap his wrist.
So just always...
to keep him calm. But the entire movie, he is fidgeting with this rubber band and slapping himself in the wrist.
And it does not seem like it makes him calm.
No, it
doesn't seem like it makes any difference at all.
It doesn't work. He's just an asshole and slapping a
it's like someone
He's just like...
It's like someone told Mark Wahlberg, hey, Brad Pitt always, eats something when he's doing it. That gives his character some realism. He's like, well, I didn't slap a rubber band on my wrist. Well, maybe something less annoying. No, that's what I'm going to do.
There were a lot of things like that in the movie where they thought that it would get them, credibility for being unique. Like the family thing for Lauren Cohen's character. She had this app that was, a good way for her to communicate with her ex-husband and daughter, because it allowed them to talk amicably because it censored cursing and all that and forced distance, but it was just a real weird gimmick, and she just came across as an asshole the whole time.
Yeah.
It was a bad movie, guys. And even if the action was good, we didn't see it because they shot it way too close and did the awful, B-movie version of the Jason Bourne editing.
So, here's my hot take
and
on this movie. Yes. It was definitely edited by somebody on way too much fucking Adderall. The script is not good.
No.
Only because the characters suck.
All of them.
This movie might have been alright if any of the characters had redeemable qualities, were likable in any kind of way. So Lauren Cohen is somebody who is a mom. That's usually a sympathetic trait to put into a character. Except she's not a good mom, and she's a fucking asshole to everybody.
Yep.
So when you'd see her not being able to spend time with her family, you're like, you shouldn't.
You're bad.
Yeah, you're not good at this. Mark Wahlberg, they do this exposition-y retelling of his life in the beginning of the movie.
Which took forever.
Yeah, the opening credits was so long.
Half the movie.
Yeah, so it opens...
they paid some company $8 million to make them an opening slate.
Yeah, so they do this opening exposition-y thing where they tell you that basically that Mark Wahlberg's character was like a gifted child, and then his parents died, and he grew up in the orphan system. And they put all this, and I was even thinking, like, I wonder why they're putting so much heavy exposition and front-loading this movie. And none of it paid off. It never came up that he was an orphan. It never came up that he was a gifted child. It just, only thing that was important to know about him is that he's a fucking dick to everybody. Like, if you've seen him in The Other Guys with Will Ferrell, and he's an over-the-top asshole, and to be funny, he was just doing that all the time. So,
but too fast with bad dialogue.
Yeah, so
it didn't work.
So you have bad dialogue, and you have a shitty script because the characters are written. Yeah, you have a shitty script that's written like poor characters, and then whoever edited this movie, I looked it up. I had a theory. I was like, I want to see who edited this movie. 2 people edited this movie together that had almost never edited anything before. So it's. Every single time someone turns their fucking head, we have to get 9 angles of it. It's so hard to watch. And when you're watching 3 people have a conversation, it's like you cut to the side profile of somebody's face and the front profile of Marky Mark's face, and then the top profile somewhere else, and then it's a 2-shot, then it's a 4-shot, and 1 word.
Yeah.
It's so, like, hard to pay attention
Seriously,
to
like, there one bit where he's talking to, like, his handler or something, and the guy's like, this is the shittiest fucked up shit, and the fucked up shit is so shitty and fucked up. It was so stupid.
And they cut 3 times.
They cut back and forth between that guy and Mark Wahlberg, like 3 or 4 times, before they even, without them even saying anything. The entire time, it was just shot, Marky Mark, handler, Marky Mark, handler, shit, Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Like,
and let's talk about
band slap.
Like, waste. Yeah. Oh, every time I feel like that they edited out a part of the movie, and the editor would show the director and be like, all right, there's not enough band slaps. Get more band slaps, and then they would just. Through, like, before any scene, you would just have to see 3 shots of him fucking slapping his little band. And so, they have Ronda Rousey in this movie, which is such a huge asset, because she's not a bad actress.
She should have played Lauren Cohen's character.
Yeah, she's not a bad actress. Like, if you've seen her in The Expendables, she's not bad at all.
As far as where she's come from, and what she's doing now, she's great.
Is like MMA stars turned actors go. She's the best in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Right? Because the chick from Deadpool, I don't remember her name. She's about as interesting as a block of wood. She's intimidating, sure, but she also came from I forget her name now. But she is also an MMA fighter, and you know it's good to have that actual level of physicality in your movie
for sure.
So for them to get Ronda Rousey. And then not have her, like, throw a single fucking punch makes no sense to me. You have somebody who's an incredibly amazing martial artist.
Real-life martial artist.
Even if they wrote the script and everything, and they're getting ready, and they're like, oh, we really got to fill out this cast. We didn't, like, figure it out. And they go, oh, dude. They go to director Peter Berg. We got you Ronda Rousey. Oh, great. Let's just slap her in and give her a gun. You don't stop and go, hold on. This is an amazing opportunity for me to add, like, a cool little 8-minute fight scene where she just demolishes 8 dudes in a hallway. Because she can do it. Because she can fucking do it herself.
Yeah.
So and they just don't do it. It's so... all the things that happen in this movie is just bad decision after bad decision
her character gets fucking ganked in the beginning of the, like, major plot. Like, they're driving the guy to mile 22, which is what the whole movie is been advertised as to being about. Which, by the way, does not start to happen for the first, 45 minutes, maybe?
Yeah.
But anyway, the truck she's in gets exploded, and she survives the blast, but is completely out of commission.
Her face is, like, melting off.
Yeah, her face is gone, her stomach is ripped open, and basically, Lauren Cohen, Maggie from The Walking Dead, comes up and gives her, like, morphine, and then is like, sorry,
some napkins.
And hands her some grenades, and Ronda Rousey blows herself up.
Yeah.
Why wasn't that Lauren Cohen's character?
Yeah.
And then Ronda Rousey gets to be the angry, the mom with anger issues.
Yeah.
Who then has to do that fight with the big... whatever that guy was, dude.
That would have been so impressive.
That would have been so much better because you would have believed it. But then, no, we just got Lauren Cohen getting one arm slammed into walls and through tables until Mark Wahlberg... No, sorry. The Asian guy shows up to shoot the dude in the head.
I don't know, man. I don't understand any decisions that were made with this movie. Editing decisions were whack. The characters are boring and uninteresting and mean. The directing is, like, all right, I guess, if that's what you have to work with. I don't know. Here's my running theory after watching this movie. Peter Berg is a phenomenal director if it's based on something that actually happened, like a book or a real scenario. Like Lone Survivor is based on a book, based on real events. Yep. Same thing with Deepwater Horizon. Only 2 movies I've seen of his that I enjoyed, and they were actually exceptionally well done.
But Battleship is basically had to be an original script based on a board game.
Yeah, so you have Battleship, which is a made-up thing. Patriots Day, which is based on true events, but the whole story is made up.
Yeah.
And then you have What's that other fucking movie he did? I don't remember. If it's made up and Peter Berg did it, it'll be bad.
Yeah.
All right. Any other hot takes on?
No, it was a pile of garbage, and I wouldn't even waste one of your 3 movies a week for AMC, or if MoviePass is somehow working for you and you can use that, I wouldn't even do that.
Dude, it's not worth it.
Just do not waste your time
totally
with this
not
piece
worth
of garbage.
What?
Like we told you to go buy tickets for Fallout, just because we want to emphasize that this is the kind of movie you should make.
Yes.
The opposite is true of this.
Yes.
Do not even go see this if you just
support this movie.
Yeah. Do not even go see this if you just want like fun action-y romp, because that's what I was wanting going in.
Yeah.
Especially after fucking Slenderman, which we're about to get into. I just wanted a movie that I could laugh at and have fun with.
The scariest movie of all time.
This was a pile of garbage.
Yes.
Now, speaking of which, Wyatt, take us away for Slenderman.
You sure you want that?
No.
Okay,
but
so
this is a thing we do, and it has to be done.
Okay, so
it has to be done.
So if you don't know about Slenderman at this point, you really should. The character of Slenderman has a pretty rich history.
He does.
Which is why it's
only
really,
10 years old.
Yeah, it's really disappointing that almost none of it was called upon for the movie. It seemed like for this movie, someone at Sony was like, we should really try and make a Slenderman movie. 3 years too late, if you ask me, but let's make a Slenderman movie. And they were like, sure. And the screenwriter thought, you know what? I bet you I can make up some really good Slenderman shit and not have to do a whole lot of research. I'm going to do that. Instead of really digging into what made this character super interesting, they just didn't. It's almost like they... I'm just getting these random thoughts out before I get into the fucking plot of this movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's almost like someone wrote a horror script, just like a generic-y slasher horror script or something, and turned it in, and they were like, we can just like select all instances of, I don't know, Killer Jack, delete, and then paste in Slenderman.
It got Cloverfielded in a way.
A little bit.
Like they took an original script and dumped a named thing onto it to try to save it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was trying so hard to be it.
Because it just felt like no one would really edit a movie like this, or like make a movie like this about something this actually. But anyway, here's what the movie is. So a bunch of unlikable teenagers hear that another group of unlikable teenagers are going to summon, dun dun dun, the Slender Guy man.
The thin boy.
Yeah. That's good.
The thin boy.
The thin boy.
Oh, 2 points to Katimae.
There you go. So the girls decide to summon him because if the boys are going to do it, we should do it too. So
that's valid. That's what we did at sleepover.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the most believable part of their friendship. The whole movie.
They're like, well, they're going to do it. We're going to do it. So they pull up a Slenderman like forum, and then there's a link that says summon him, and they click it, and they watch a video, and then it summons Slenderman. So I'm going to pump the brakes right the fuck here. That's how you want to summon the Slenderman? Watching a fucking video?
Yep.
Like, you couldn't think of anything else. They clicked the video.
Yep.
You couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah.
At least, like, Evil Dead does a thing where they do a seance. Like, they find a book, and the guy's like, what's this book? And he says the words, and then the thing comes. Like, that is more interesting than clicking a fucking video.
Excuse me. They closed their eyes.
Yes, they had to close their eyes while the video played. So you can't even watch the video for it to work. If you click the video...
An audio file then?
Yeah, if you click the video and you have your eyes
on iTunes.
open... Yeah, if you click the video and you watch it, nothing will happen. But if you close your eyes during the video...
You close your eyes while the bells are ringing. That's it.
Anyway, so through this movie, Slenderman can haunt you, stalk you, or make you insane, or kill you, or kidnap you. So they make that clear. They go, he can do any of these things. And who he does it to is just totally by random choice. They did not set up the rules for this character at all. So as things are going on, you as an audience member go, what's happening? What happened to this person? What's happening to that person? There's so many threads that just fall apart. But here's where it all starts. So they click the video, they listen to the audio or the bells toll. And then...
Ding!
This one girl, she starts to go nuts, I guess. So she wanders into the forest while they're on a field trip at a fucking cemetery. I know they tried to cover it up by saying, like, it's a historical cemetery, but who the fuck brings all of their teenagers to, or like their, teenage high school kids on a field trip to a cemetery?
It looked like a small town.
It looked like a small town.
Nothing else to do.
Sure, but
also,
I feel like...
Didn't you think it was weird that, like, anytime they were walking around at night, like, there's no cars or anything? Like,
ever.
Nothing. Like, no, like, this town, just when it gets dark, they're like... Nope.
Yeah. Is Dark the Slenderman out there? So.
But all the kids are like, yeah, let's go hang out at Katie's house.
Yeah,
man.
So one of these girls goes nuts and wanders into the woods because the Slender Man is infecting her brain.
Can I point out that she gets punked earliest?
Yeah.
She's the highest profile actress in the movie.
There you go.
The four of them, she's the one who's done the most and has done the best.
Well,
but she gets ganked early.
One of many poor decisions
red
with this.
hair.
Yeah.
So we see the first of many cloud time-lapsey transition shots
Stock footage
with the contrast dialed up to 9,000 just to really sell the fact that, like, be scared of what's happening.
It's grim, it's dark.
It looks like they shot a normal-ass sky, and they're like, if we just jack up the contrast, that'll look dark.
It reminded me of when we were shooting the Inventor, and you were like, just go get a shot of the sky for a second, which made sense for the Inventor, but it just feels like they were in the studio, and they're like, oh shit, we need some sky. Go out there.
Like they're
Get
editing
out
it,
there.
and the director was like, not transition-y enough. Give me some sky.
Call my assistant, give him the camera, and tell him to just point it up for a couple hours.
There's tons of transitions like that. There's also transitions of just flashes of random, seemingly creepy imagery, like worms and like symbols and shit, that don't lead to anything. It's not like they're reading.
Some of it was foreshadowing.
Sure, but like it's not like they're reading something and they just skip flashes of images. It's just like you're transitioning from one scene to another, and they go, Phew! Like they throw these images at you, and you're like, oh, I'm fucking spooked out now.
There was no building of tension because it was all random and made no sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the thing that, here's the one point I want to get to. I can't really follow the plot after that.
Yeah.
The girl goes missing. One other girl goes insane. They go to her house to be like, hey, are you insane? Yep. And then she never plays a factor in the movie again. She doesn't die.
She's literally just insane.
And they, well, I guess she's crazy. Just leave her the fuck alone then. And she's gone from the plot. She's just, They go to her house. Girl. And this how they show that she's crazy. She looks out the window creepily while they're knocking on the door. Hey, are you crazy? They're knocking on the door. And she looks through the window, and her eyes are like, yes, I'm crazy. And they're like, oh, yeah. And they leave, and that's it.
Oh, you're our best friend, but you look crazy, so we're never going to talk to you again. Bye.
Bye. And so, also, if we're like on the topic of threads in this movie that just go nowhere, in the beginning, the main character girl, whose name escapes me, sits down at the table with her family. No, not Ren.
Haley.
Haley sits down at the table with her family, who is like, they're trying to make it seem like her family is like disconnected or something.
Her mom's an asshole.
Yeah. So her mom was like, is Ren gonna be there? Because she's going to a party. And she was like, yeah. But like, her and Ren are friends.
Yeah.
And so like,
and they've been friends forever.
So it made it. They really tried to make it seem like there's tension between Haley and Ren, but like they're fucking friends. But anyway, yeah, that went fucking.
Also,
nowhere.
did you pick up on the hint implied like relationship between Haley and Katie? There were a couple times where it flashed back to them, and like Katie's like massaging Haley's hair, and Haley looks like she's really enjoying it. And I was like, oh, are they gonna get into like how they had a relationship? Are they?
Or like how they were like closer than the other girls?
Yeah.
Nope. But
no. Haley's just an asshole.
Yep. And then they had this one character plot thread that the first girl that went missing had been doing some research on the Slender Man because she was getting all freaked out, and she found this person whose like name escapes me.
Alley Cat 93.
Alley Cat or something like that. Alley Cat is messaging this person like, who the fuck is Alley Cat? Where does she come from? How does Alley Cat?
That would have been so cool if they went with that. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. So Alley Cat, they were messaging Alley Cat like, oh, you know about the Slender Man, and like they're sending back like cryptic messages like, oh, he has her now or something like that. Like, how do you know any of this information? And then this Alley Cat character just vanishes, gone.
And they figure out who she is, and then they're like,
oh, that was her.
Wow.
Yeah. Great. And then they move on to the next thing.
Yeah, Alley Cat was, turns out, surprise was Ren, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Ren found out Alley Cat was like at this hospital. So I
Alley
thought
Cat,
they were...
so it said admission to psychiatric hospital.
So I thought they were going to go to the hospital, and I was like, we got to get some creepy hospital stuff.
I took that whole reveal in the wrong way because I missed like one line.
Well, so here's what's stupid about it. Check it out. On the computer screen, it said admission to blah 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 psychiatric hospital. They had the real person's name, and then underneath it had Alley Cat, Who the fuck puts their freaking, their, like, I don't know, MySpace fake book fucking handle name on their admission to the psychiatric hospital?
But what confused me was...
So stupid!
There was a picture, and, like, it was all going way too fast, because every time they tried to show you information from a screen capture on a computer, it went a million miles an hour, and you didn't know what you were supposed to be focusing on.
Yeah.
So I guess I just missed it, but what I saw was that. It was, okay, what I saw was, psych ward, that's Ren, gave the sister... okay, so what I thought was that Ren got possessed by Slendermans a long time ago and was feeding people to Slenderman, and I thought that's what it was in the end. No. But she actually started to like Haley and her sister.
That would have been a really
that's
good
what
movie,
that's where I thought it was going. Is like the big reveal was that Ren turns out is a pawn of Slenderman the whole time, which would relate it to the real life horrible tragedy that happened based on Slenderman.
Correct. Yeah.
Which I thought was okay, points. But if that's not the case...
It's not.
All right, fuck this movie even harder.
Yeah, because it turns out that Ren was messaging Alley Cat, and then Alley Cat's like, I'm going to the mental hospital. Here's proof. And, like, sent her something that said her real name and whatever the fuck her handle is online, going to a mental hospital. And then Ren's like, I'm going to jump out a window now. And then doesn't. And then Slenderman takes her anyway.
And pulls her out the window anyway.
So Slenderman apparently can haunt you, stalk you, make you insane, or kill you. So if he wanted Ren from the beginning,
are we
why was
spoiling
he?
This?
Oh fuck yeah!
If he wanted Ren,
turns you into a tree.
Yeah, if he wanted Ren from the beginning, why was he about to let her jump out a fucking window? So the fact that he's like tormenting people makes no goddamn sense. In the games and in the lore, all he wants to do is kidnap you.
Yeah,
and he's not like coy about it. He's not like
woo.
He just comes after you.
He's not trying to. That's the thing. It's like
not
Penny.
Like it
was trying to be it the whole time.
Yeah,
he was fucking with these kids. But the thing about it is Pennywise wants you to be terrified because you taste better.
Yes, you taste better when you're scared.
Slenderman is like also like
just a dick.
A lot of the lore around it didn't even set him up like a bad dude. Like he didn't say he eats these kids, or it just says he takes them to like a happy place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like where does he take you?
Like that's the thing.
Also,
is like
every time he came on screen, got close to the actress, I just wanted him to go. A little kiss.
Kiss on the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, he would like get close, and he just looked like a CGI rubber man.
And he was just an unnecessary douche.
There was no practical effects in this movie at all.
Nope.
It was just 1000% CGI. And what's so upsetting and frustrating about this movie is that it had such an interesting character. With all, like, if you guys don't know anything about this character, some guy was making a web series way back in the day called Marble Hornets, and he would do like these anthology. The whole premise behind it was a friend of another guy found all of his tapes of like recordings that he was making while he was like in film school, and he said, "Don't release these tapes. You should burn them or whatever." And in these tapes were a bunch of like haunted experiences. So it was like a lot of found footagey stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was really creepy because you can really turn up the creep factor when you're just walking around in the woods with a flashlight and you get a glimpse of a real tall, skinny dude in a suit way off in the distance. And then when you flash the light again, he's closer. Like, that's really scary.
Yeah.
That's all it was ever supposed to be. So they make that, and then everyone's like, who the fuck was that dude? And they just put like a bedsheet over a guy's face and had him stand really far away. And the internet was like, who is this? That's crazy. And then this web series blew up, and now the guy is getting to make whatever he wants now.
Yeah.
He actually made a movie in 2015 that doesn't name him the Slender Man, but is a found footage movie about him because he but he created it, so he should be able to make it.
Yeah.
It got so popular that he got to make that movie, and I watched the trailer for that movie. I haven't seen it, but it actually looks like it's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Looks like it's incredibly low budget, made for like, I don't know, like $200. But it looks like it's well done the way that this kind of thing can be, because it dives into like the lore. Like, Slenderman has a symbol, and when you find the symbol, that means like he's coming for you. They didn't play with that at all in this movie. They didn't, like, they had a video game that this movie or this character got so blown up and hyped up on the internet that people made their own video games about him at home. And those became super popular because they were fucking freaky.
Yeah.
And those had lore built into them that expanded on the character even further that were really good.
Because the internet's awesome in that way.
Yeah, and Sony didn't decide to tap into any of that. And I don't get it.
Sony was like, that seems like work.
Yeah.
I'm not into that right now.
I just don't
understand.
It's
my off day.
Sony's been like batting at zero recently. Like, and if Venom sucks, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
If Venom sucks, they're in a lot, because like the Amazing
Well,
Spider-Man
the movies
series
have been
tanked.
trash.
Well, yeah, and this movie sucked. The last movie I saw with Sony fucking sucked. Well, I'll think of it later. It's
They're
just,
making bank. They're making good calls with the video games, though.
that's fine.
Fucking PlayStation's killing it.
But they're like Sony Pictures is like
yeah, shit in the bed, real bad.
Yeah, man, it's
Real bad.
Aren't they making that Spider-Man movie too?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
that looks pretty good.
I hope that that's good.
Yeah.
Because this Venom movie, as much as I want it to be good, I really have the feeling it's gonna suck.
I hope it's rated R. I think it will be.
It will not be.
Well, hang on. Why would you say that so affirmatively?
It's rated already.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was not rated yet. Still.
Venom.
Because like, there's a bit where you see a dude get his throat slit, like in the trailer.
Venom.
You can get away with that if you cut away fast enough.
I guess. Anyway, this movie was really bad, and I hated the main actress. She's getting the nookie on with a dude who was the smoothest asshole in the world and didn't even hide the fact that he only invited her over to bang. And then he goes, "Look,
goddamn, they move fast too."
yeah."
So
Basically, she came over, and he was like, "Yeah, my parents aren't home," and she was like, "Oh, that's what this is." And he's like, "Is that okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then they go downstairs, and he picks one of his dad's records, and they listen to it. And then he literally throws himself onto the couch with his arm around her.
He's like,
and
"Hey."
immediately they start making out.
Yep.
And then he said, "Hey, look at me."
Easy.
And then it cuts to the most uncomfortable...
So his face is all distorted and his eyes are all hollowed out.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to like really freak you out and make you think like Slenderman's in her brain.
But it was just uncomfortable.
like goofy and dumb looking.
And uncomfortable.
So
Made me laugh.
according to Variety, who is owned by Sony, Venom probably won't be rated R because they keep saying that they're going to push the limits of PG-13. They're going to take it as far to the edge of PG-13 as possible. There, now you know. If you want more evidence that Sony's dumb, there you go.
I do want to say something though.
Yes.
On a different note, I saw Mamma Mia 2 again. Here we go again. And it was even better this second.
So if you're looking for something of a pick-me-up, go check out Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again.
It is a masterpiece. I love it so much.
Something else I watched, because I know we weren't going to talk about James Gunn, but here it goes. I had not seen the movie Slither, which is kind of what put him on everybody's radar. And I've been getting more and more into, like, I've always liked some horror movies a lot, but I was like, I feel like I'm starting to appreciate them more. And I'm going to check out Slither, and damn, that movie is good.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It is a good movie. So, like, if for some reason you end up having to watch The Slenderman, and you're like, wow, horror movies blow. No, go watch Slither and you'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, because it's creepy in a lot of ways. It's funny, but the practical department in that movie, oh my goodness gracious!
It's just super well done. Like the movie is well made, well acted, well directed. The story is super interesting. It's a good time. So if you have to watch it, yeah, go watch that instead. And if you have to watch Mile 22 for some reason.
Seppuku afterwards.
Or you can go watch Deepwater Horizon, which is also directed by Peter Berg, the most recent one he made that didn't stink.
That movie was crazy.
So there you go, guys.
Well, thanks for listening. Are we done?
I got nothing else to say.
I'm really deflated.
I'm like burned out on these two goddamn movies.
Thank God it's like getting into the pre-Oscars like release schedule where we're gonna get a bunch of good movies. What we got next week?
So...
Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Happy Time Murders.
That's right, Happy Time Murders.
Yeah, is that next week?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
There's one other movie.
I'm excited. All right, I will say, the second trailer, watching it on a bigger screen with friends, made me a little more excited. Because the first time I saw the trailer, I was alone, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But now I watched it, and everything...
That wasn't even the Red Band trailer.
What?
You haven't seen the Red Band trailer? Before you leave, we're going to show you the Red Band trailer.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking
No, I've seen the Red Band trailer.
We're going to watch it anyway.
That's what I watched when I was alone.
Oh.
And I think, personally, I think that might have been why, because it was so obnoxiously raunchy that it was like, I
think it might work if you have to be in the right mood. Though.
I feel that. But it did feel like they were trying too hard to sell it. It's dirty puppets! Plus, I'm a big Peter Jackson fool, and he made Meet the Feebles a million years ago, and that is basically what this is, but way back in the day and creepy and gross. But anyway.
Hey, we got dirty puppets over here. Come watch our movie.
So next week, yeah. Also, the movie Axel comes out.
I don't even know what that is.
About that robot dog.
Oh.
Oh, Axel came out, and also Alpha came out for this weekend, but we didn't see that.
The movie looks like Bud.
Yeah, and it's apparently is Bud because it even got beat by Slenderman and Mile 22.
But they're marketing that movie all weird. So like a trailer came out like months ago that played it as just like very deep drama, and now they're making it seem like a happy-go-lucky time about a guy who discovers that wolves can be pets.
I thought it was a lady.
No.
Oh. Shit. Well.
Crazy Rich Asians came out, and
Is-
you should go see that movie.
Stomping at the box
If
office.
you see any movie, go see that.
So Dog Days is coming out.
It's already out.
Yeah.
We should see that.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna see some movies next week. We're gonna watch some other movies. We're gonna do movie news. But for this week, that's a wrap on a pretty sad week there, friends.
Yeah.
Sorry, all we talked about was crappy movies the whole time.
Yeah, sorry. The whole time it was crappy movies.
So
we're gonna go get ice cream to lift our spirits.
probably should.
Yeah.
So here's a couple things that you guys should know. A new episode of The Inventor came out last week. A new episode of Visual Cooking came out last week. They're both probably the pinnacle of those two shows.
I think
I would say. So you should go watch those.
Uh-huh.
We are on YouTube at Screenplay. Or S Vertical P.
Yeah.
We are on Patreon. That's where you can listen to our commentary of The Bucket List. Why did we pick that movie? We literally shoved our hands into a $4 bin and picked out a random movie. And boy, was that a riot.
It was actually really good.
Yeah.
$4 Friday.
$4 Fridays. So if you donate as little as $1 to Patreon, you get to watch The Bucket List with us. And every other Friday, or whenever we decide to do it again, we'll do another movie from the $4 bin. But you could also check us out on places like Twitter and Instagram. All S Vertical P is where you can get.
I want to emphasize that you don't have to commit a lot of money to get the Patreon exclusive stuff.
It's $1.
$1 is all you need to do. You can do more if you want, but I mean, really don't worry about it. Just $1 will do.
$1.
Well, there you go, guys.
$1
I've been
make
Tyler.
a holla.
I've been Wyatt.
K
Katie
May.
May.
Denver was here too.
Katie May.
Who was here?
Drunken May.
Come on. All right, guys. Bye forever.
I'm gonna go to sleep.